You've probably been told your whole life that certain habits mean you're careless, undisciplined, or just plain flawed. You bite your nails. You stay up too late. You overthink simple decisions. You question everything. And somewhere along the way, you started believing those quirks were evidence that something was wrong with you. But what if the opposite is true? What if the behaviors you've been apologizing for are actually signals of a faster, more complex, more analytical mind working behind the scenes? Today, we're reframing the narrative. Because sometimes what looks like a weakness on the surface is actually cognitive horsepower underneath. And once you understand the psychology behind these so-called bad habits, you may never see yourself the same way again. Let's start with nervous habits like nail biting, skin picking, or constantly tapping your fingers. On the surface, it looks like anxiety with nowhere to go. People assume it's insecurity or lack of control. But research into body-focused repetitive behaviors suggests something deeper. These habits often spike in people who score high in perfectionism and mental restlessness. In other words, your brain isn't idle. It's overstimulated. When your environment isn't matching the speed or complexity your mind wants, that excess cognitive energy has to discharge somewhere. Your fingers become the outlet. It's not self-destruction. It's overflow. Your nervous system is trying to regulate a brain that refuses to run at average speed. Now consider chronic lateness. Yes, it frustrates people. Yes, it causes problems. But there's a cognitive pattern frequently linked to it called time blindness. Highly creative and analytical thinkers often experience deep immersion states, sometimes referred to as flow. When you're locked into a problem, an idea, or a creative burst, your brain deprioritizes external signals like the clock. Linear time becomes background noise. To someone watching from the outside, it looks irresponsible. But internally, your mind is fully absorbed, exploring layers, making connections, building structures. The same wiring that allows complex thought also makes mundane scheduling feel abstract. It's not that you don't care. It's that your attention system is optimized for depth, not routine. Then there's swearing. For years, people treated profanity as proof of low intelligence or limited vocabulary. Ironically, studies on verbal fluency suggest the opposite. People who are comfortable using taboo language often demonstrate broader vocabularies and stronger linguistic flexibility. Swearing isn't a placeholder for ignorance. It's a tool. It requires timing, social awareness, emotional calibration, and cultural context. Knowing exactly when and how to use a charged word for emphasis is a sophisticated communication skill. It signals that your brain understands nuance. Language isn't just about politeness. It's about precision. And sometimes the precise word isn't gentle. It's powerful. Let's talk about staying up late. Society glorifies early risers as disciplined and driven, while night owls are labeled lazy or unstructured. But multiple psychological studies have found correlations between evening preference and higher measures of cognitive ability. From an evolutionary perspective, staying active outside traditional daylight hours was once unusual behavior. It required adaptability and novelty seeking. Those traits are closely tied to intelligence. Night thinkers often report heightened creativity, fewer distractions, and deeper contemplation after dark. When the world quiets down, their mind speeds up. It's not rebellion against routine. It's alignment with when their cognitive system feels most alive. Indecisiveness is another trait people criticize relentlessly. You're at a restaurant, scanning the menu for 10 minutes while everyone else orders instantly. It feels embarrassing. But here's what might actually be happening. Your brain is modeling outcomes. Highly analytical individuals process more variables before committing to a choice. They anticipate consequences, compare alternatives, and mentally simulate scenarios. While others satisfice, meaning they choose the first acceptable option, you optimize. That mental thoroughness slows visible decision speed, but it increases depth of evaluation. It's not confusion. It's complexity awareness. Your hesitation is often a sign that you see layers others don't even register. What about forgetfulness? Walking into a room and forgetting why. Misplacing keys. Blank moments that make you question your competence. Neuroscience offers a counterintuitive insight. Forgetting is functional. The brain is not designed to store everything. It's designed to prioritize patterns and predictive value. Intelligent cognition depends more on abstraction than perfect recall. If your mind is busy building frameworks, connecting ideas, and extracting principles, small operational details sometimes get filtered out. That doesn't mean your memory is broken. It may mean it's selective. Your brain is allocating bandwidth to what it perceives as meaningful long-term. Now consider arguing. Not hostile fighting, but instinctively questioning statements. When someone presents an idea, your mind immediately stress tests it. You generate counterexamples. You search for inconsistencies. In social settings, this can make you seem difficult. But cognitively, it reflects actively open-minded thinking. High-level reasoning isn't about accepting information smoothly. It's about interrogating it. Intelligent thinkers don't absorb conclusions passively. They evaluate evidence, consider alternatives, and revise beliefs when necessary. That internal debate engine can be socially inconvenient, but intellectually, it's a gift. Your brain refuses to outsource judgment. Even procrastination can carry hidden complexity. While chronic avoidance can signal fear, strategic delay often appears in people who rely on subconscious incubation. When faced with a complex problem, stepping away allows background processing to occur. Your brain continues working beneath awareness, forming connections without forced effort. What looks like delay can sometimes be nonlinear problem-solving. The key difference is intention. If you eventually produce high-quality output under pressure, your pattern may reflect cognitive incubation rather than incapacity.